This is Bruce Bochy, and you're listening to the Ranger Report.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. If you want the inside scoop, listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the World Series champion Texas Rangers, from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter, Tyler Nilson, and CJ Berryman.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. I am Ben Dieter. We are on the Fans First Sports Network. As always, thanks to Fans First for bringing us on board. It's been great. And of course, presented by Dallas Sports Nation. As always, brought to you by Waltons.com. Waltons.com, everything but the meat. And then the Preferred Health Solutions online studio. It is just the three of us tonight. And speaking of just the three of us, I know you guys have noticed that Tyler's been on here a little bit, but it is now official. If you heard in the intro, Tyler Nielsen is now the official third member of the Ranger Report podcast. So Tyler,
thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Glad to have you.
Glad to be a part of it.
So I am Ben Dieter. You can find me on Malcolm X at BDD75.
You can find me on that X-rated app at CJB_RR.
And I'm Tyler Nielsen. You can find me on that porn site at TPN1983.
This is of course time I think it's just been us three in a while.
In a long time.
It's been a while.
Very long time.
So it's a Three Stooges, people.
It's definitely the Three Stooges.
I say the Three Amigos.
I like Three Amigos, yeah. And also, don't forget, at the Ranger Report on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. I mean, I think I have a Snapchat, like I said before, but I haven't used it in 10 years, so probably don't send me a message there. I don't even know what the credentials are, but I made one a really long time ago. So anyway, and I don't know, I mean, if your message sends me, it disappears after a while anyway, doesn't it? I don't know how that crap works, but anyway, I barely can do Instagram, so I'm not going to try anything past that.
I've never gotten on Instagram, and I'm glad I haven't.
I do because I follow, the Rangers and
well, they all get retweeted or no, I'm sorry.
That's the thing is they go everywhere. So re-X'd. Yeah. They get X'd out. Okay. Anyway,
they get X'd out.
All right. Well, here we go. We've got some stuff to talk about tonight on the Preferred Health Solutions online studio. And the first thing I thought we would mention is the Rangers made a giant move. No, it wasn't giant, but I think a good move. CJ, we'll start with you here. Kirby Yates. What do you think?
Me and Tyler were talking about him when I got a break the other night from work. I'm an insurance agent, just so y'all know, and it was the end of AEP season. Ooh. So it was rough, but I got a break, and me and Tyler were talking about it. Tyler let me know before I even looked at anything, and so I went and looked at him, and his fastball isn't like upper 90s or anything like that, but it's got good movement on it. He throws. It
gets to the plate quick. Yeah, you're right.
It's a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer that he throws. But then we were trying to figure out what his breaking ball was, or what it looked like it might have been a changeup. And I sat there and I slowed it down. He's throwing a fork ball. It's not a changeup. It's a fork ball. Go ahead, Tyler.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what, like you said, we were trying to figure out what the heck he was throwing. I mean, I was like, he's got some filthy stuff. I think the signing of Kirby Yates pretty much spells the end for Chris Stratton. That's just my opinion. I don't know. They might be willing to bring back Chris Stratton. But Kirby Yates, you look at what he's had some injuries, but the past couple of years, he's rebounded very nicely. As we all know, he was an all-star in 2019, led the majors or maybe the National League in saves. But he has some good stuff, and you need a guy that you can depend on. And I think he's that type of guy that you're bringing in. And I still think they're going to make additional moves as a guy like Josh Hader and stuff like that. I've been hearing his name, since free agency began, every day. And I think right now CY and the Rangers organization are keeping everything on the DL because they're not going to spill their beans, kind of like what they did with Corey Seager and Marcus Semien.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And to kind of piggyback on that, CY has done a fantastic job of being very low key and making sure no information gets out. because we didn't know Marcus Semien was going to sign with the Rangers. We didn't even hear about Corey Seager either. It was all about Trevor Story.
Trevor Story. Yep.
We didn't hear nothing about those two guys, and all of a sudden they're there. So he's done a fantastic job of keeping things under wraps.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think, and also, I don't think obviously Chapman's not coming back. I think Tyler's right. I don't think Stratton's coming back.
We want Cole back.
We do, yeah, but yeah, we do. But I think you're looking at. I think he replaces.
Alexa, shut up.
I think he.
I know. I'm going to get my ass chewed,
especially by Jamie.
By Jamie,
especially by Jamie.
She's going to chew my ass for that one. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's all right. Anyway, I think he kind of replaces Aroldis Chapman as far as the role of the late inning, setup guy possibly that Aroldis was, or like you said, Stratton. He might replace Stratton. I don't know which one he's going to replace. It depends if they go and get Hader or not. If they get Hader,
right,
he's going to be your 8/9th inning guy, depending on what Leclerc wants to do. If they go to Leclerc and say, look, we want Josh Hader to be the closer, not because of anything you did. We want you to be the 8th inning guy because your stuff is so good. We know once we get to the 8th inning, the game is over. I think Leclerc would be all in on that.
And I think that's well said.
Because Leclerc wants another World Series.
We cannot forget about Josh Sborz.
Yeah. We still got that asset there who he finally, me and Ben have been talking about it for since we've been on doing the podcast together again. Josh Sborz is so talented. He just, for whatever reason, could not get it together. And this year he did. And we got to see it come to fruition. And it brought us he helped bring us a championship. I mean, he could have been the pitcher of the postseason easily. He could have been
right.
MVP of the postseason for the Rangers pitching wise.
Right. And CJ, you bring up a really good point. Yeah, CJ, you bring up a really good point too. We forget about these other guys in the bullpen that had some really good success, later on, like during the postseason, for example. I mean, you look at a guy like Andrew Heaney. I don't think he'll be in the rotation. I think he's a long reliever coming out of the pen. And I think that'll be a good move for him. Of course, Martin Perez isn't coming back, but I think that'll be a good transaction for Heaney, and he'll get comfortable in the pen, and then you can go from there. You don't need a lot of help in the bullpen, but you still got to address some of the spots that are there.
Well, Andrew Heaney, I have to say, impressed me in the postseason because he was asked before the World Series, are you hurt or did it hurt your feelings? And he goes, I don't care. They asked me to sweep the dugout. I would do it. Whatever they need me to do. That's what my job is to do. If I can help this team win. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's the guy you move to the bullpen and then spot starter if you need him. And he's like, whatever, man, I'm good to go. That's the guy you want on this team. And I'm glad. I mean, he started rough with the Rangers. Obviously, that first game, he gave up 7 runs in an inning in the third.
Bad.
And I was there. So I remember thinking
you were covering that one, yeah.
Thinking I got 7.5 more innings of this to watch, and it's already 7-0. Anyway, that was rough. But no, I mean, he wound up being one of the best. Again, like you said, our bullpen was unbelievable in the postseason. It was incredibly unbelievable.
And we thought it was going to be our crutch, and
it was unbelievable.
You know what? I'm not more happy to be wrong. I thought our bullpen was going to screw us. I really did, and it did not.
Well, they were pretty much our saving grace, if you really think about it, CJ, in the postseason. I mean, I'm not saying our offense didn't come around too, but our bullpen, that was the biggest worrisome of this team coming into the postseason. That's all you heard about was, we know they got a great offense, but their bullpen and their pitching are not that good. I mean, their starting pitching's been pretty good all year. Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah.
They haven't been the greatest, but they've been good. They've been consistent. And the bullpen, though, they started off so sharp at the beginning of the season, and then I don't know where it made it turned. Went left in the thing. I was like, Lee, but they finally found their way in the postseason to turn it around.
Yeah, and they need one more rotation guy as well, in my opinion. But also, you look at it. I don't think Montgomery's coming back. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think Montgomery's going to be returning to the Rangers.
I'm hearing it's close.
Well, I'm hoping he does because
I'm hearing it's
Montgomery was good gracious. I mean, he set the tone for the whole postseason with that diving catch on the bunt. Like he set the tone.
Yeah,
he set the tone for the whole postseason.
That's a good point.
He set the tone for the whole. And then of course, big game Nate, man, what a performance by him. But
the thing about Montgomery, what I'm hearing is, like CJ said, we were hearing it's real close. This deal is, but now that this TV deal is off the table with Bally Sports and all this stuff that they're going to bankruptcy and all that stuff. I'm hearing the Rangers aren't willing to give out the money to sign these players because they don't know what they're getting out of return out of the deal, out of the case for the bankruptcy deal. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it's just I'd love to bring him back, but at the right cost. I wouldn't give him like $30 million a year to come back with the Rangers, but he, I'd give him 20 for sure for 3 years, 60 million for 3 years. I'd do that with Montgomery easy, but it just depends on what they plan on doing and who else they're going to get. And everybody's still waiting on the Ohtani decision, which he just pulled a fast one on everyone today by flying to Toronto. So good old Shohei Ohtani. Anyway, that's fun. That's all we'll mention. That he's not coming to the Rangers, so I don't really want to talk about it.
I highly doubt it. But I mean, we talked about before we got on air about what Jeff Wilson put out there, that the Japanese media works so hard, and it's a tireless job and a thankless job that they do. There's families that are tied to Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
And to cover Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
So if he moves, it affects families.
Yep.
And Jeff Wilson said he acts like they don't even exist.
Yep. Yeah, Jeff, that was pretty harsh, and he sees it day in and day out. He
knows.
He's not with the Angels, but he talks to those guys every time they come to town, every time they go out to L.A., Anaheim, wherever the heck the Angels are. I don't know.
I don't see him leaving the West Coast, like CJ said. I personally don't. I think the Dodgers are the leading getters for him, but I think they're going to get him. But at the same time, who knows? I mean, this is what free agency is about. You never know. Something's going to blow up over the weekend or maybe possibly next week. Who knows?
Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's talk about the Rule 5 draft. The Rangers lost a couple of players, one from the East Texas area, from Nacogdoches, Justin Slayton, and also Nick Starr, who I thought also had a good chance of making the majors this coming year, was Nick Starr, and now he has. And so is Justin Slayton. But Slayton is one I hated to see go. CJ, go ahead and talk about that for a minute, because Slayton, good arm, good pitcher, made it to Round Rock this year, had a really good season, got injured for a little while, but when he came back, was just as sharp as he was when he got injured. So Slayton's a sad one to see go.
He's done well at every level, every single level. Maybe a struggle here or there whenever he got called up, depending on the level. It just he did very, very well, and that's a guy me and Tyler talked about too. This is when I had my break at work. This is all me and Tyler do. I was like, that one sucked. That one sucked.
Yeah.
That one really sucked, because I thought that he could be that Chris Stratton role type guy.
Yeah.
At least, and then see where the season goes from there.
Yeah. So
that one stung. I mean, live arm.
Yeah.
Good slider. I mean, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
Though.
He went to the Mets, I believe. So.
Yeah, I think he went to the Mets, but then I think they ended up trading him off to the Red Sox.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So those Rule 5 things are so weird, man. But
it is.
It's a part of baseball I like, though, because it's interesting.
Yeah, I was surprised Blake Krim didn't get picked up. That's what me and CJ. That was another name that we were real worried about coming into this Rule 5 draft. But fortunately, he stayed. Wenzel, we weren't too worried about him coming into it. But
no.
I mean, to lose Coleman, he has some pretty darn good stuff, obviously, for a team to pick you up in the Rule 5. They obviously see potential in you. So there you go for that.
Well, I mean, hopefully it works out for them like it did for Mason Englert. Mason Englert had a pretty good year in Detroit. Wasn't the greatest year ever, but it was good enough. I mean, he'll stick. He'll be there for a while.
Yeah.
Good enough to stick in the majors. So that's good.
Nick Starr, he's got a lot of potential as well.
He's got a lot of potential as well. And of course, the ones we lost in trades and stuff this year. So when we always tell you guys, when we have guys on here that, don't fall in love with them too much, because you never know what's going to happen with these guys.
Well, I was thinking about this the other night. I think all the people's numbers that I have are all pitchers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They're all.
I think you're right. I think also you could see. I know we just talked about him, but I think you could see Krim go in a trade. I think the Rangers could definitely deal him off in a trade to see him go somewhere where he can get playing time, because there's really no playing time at the major league level for him.
Ready. I think.
Well, he's hit everywhere, and he's hit good everywhere.
And I'm hearing other names that are being tossed around right now during the offseason that are being, for the Rangers, that are being discussed in the trade market. Because Chris Young made it very clear at the end of the season that they needed another pitching. He's going to go after pitching and bullpen help, and you could always acquire a good starting pitcher, maybe a fifth pitcher. Through a trade. You've got guys like Duran, you've got people to play with, you got guys like Foskey. I mean, he's blocked, as we talked about previously. So you've got bait to mess with, So we'll just see what they do. I'm not going to ever judge what CY does, though. I can tell you that much.
No, after winning the World Series, he's got to pass for a while.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly the exact words that I said to Tyler.
Yep.
I don't like losing Slayton. I was kind of pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But I told Tyler, you know what? We just won the World Series, and CY was in front of it. So I ain't going to question much.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will continue here on the Ranger Report podcast. All right, welcome back to the Ranger Report podcast on the Preferred Health Solutions hotline. We are continuing our discussion on all kind of stuff, but anyway, CJ, go ahead. You had something you wanted to talk about.
Oh, how we're all here, really, and that the main catalyst to us being here is the Texas Rangers, because me and Tyler grew up together. Love the Texas Rangers, nuts about the Texas Rangers. I got to tell a quick story about Tyler.
Wonderful.
This is the second year that we had A-Rod, and we actually signed Juan Gonzalez as a free agent. So I'm walking to my truck to go to lunch, and I think you were with Andrew, maybe?
Probably.
In his truck. And you leaned out the door. He's leaning out the door. Juan Gonzalez Rangers. And I was like, no way. And then I get home and fire up the 56K dial up. And
oh, heck yeah, man.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, Tyler wasn't lying. Yeah, Juan Gonzalez just came back to the Rangers. So, and that's Tyler's favorite player. So
it was.
He went a little nuts. Damn near fell out of a truck. But the Texas Rangers have brought us all together because, again, Tyler and I grew up doing this, and Ben, you and I got together in 2014 when we were writing for No One Writing, and then you asked me to get on the podcast and do that every now and then. It wasn't every week or every episode or anything like that, but it was plenty, and then 2021 happens and you threw out a feeler needing an intern, and I was like, no, you don't need an intern, bro. And
no, I didn't.
And so I'm gonna let Ben take it from here, and then Tyler will let you tell your part of it.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, when I started it back up in 2018, I think I had 7 episodes in 2018. Like it was not even monthly. It was just I had the urge to do it, so I'd get on here and I'd do a show. Of course, there was no video back then. It was just me basically talking into my phone. So the audio quality, like the first 12 episodes, fantastic. But anyway, it's just so good. Me talking into my phone, some of them all driving. So they were great episodes. But, I decided in 2020 when COVID happened, I decided I'm going to do a show every week just to give people baseball to listen to since it's not happening. And that's when things started growing. And then by the end of that year, I was tired and I was like, I don't think I can do this myself anymore. And that's when I put out that call on Twitter. I was like, hey, I can say Twitter because that's what it was called back then. I put it out on Twitter and I was like, hey, anyone want to, I need an intern or someone that wants to help. And then CJ responded. I was like, oh, I hadn't talked to him in, 5 years. So anyway, CJ joined it. You look at it now. We're over 30,000 downloads on the year, which is more than we had in 2018 to 2022. So
incredible.
We beat every year combined this year. And, Tyler, now you've joined the show, you've joined us now, which you were joining us on and off. And I've got Kane, we got my friend Nathan, we got, other people that come along, but you joined us the most consistently. And so, here you are now as part of the show.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I appreciate it, guys. No, for me, it was kind of funny. Me and CJ, we hadn't talked in years and years. I'd battled addiction, went through my period of doing some really idiot decisions that I chose to make. And fortunately for me, I got sober and one day I got on Facebook and I started listening to the Ranger Report. I saw CJ was on there and I was like, we hadn't talked in forever, and started listening to it. I was like, man, these guys are good. They're real good. They know their shit. And the more I listened to it, I finally reached out to CJ one day and I was like, hey, man, I was like, you remember our days, talking about baseball, growing up as kids? That's all we talked about, with sports. I was like, is there any chance, just possibly I could maybe get on one show? I think it'd be cool to try to something, different to do. And CJ was like, yeah, absolutely. Let me talk to Ben. We'll get you on. And then you look at it from there. Well, baseball, like CJ said, the Texas Rangers brought us to from that day to now. Like me and CJ, we don't consider each other friends anymore. We're brothers. We talk to each other on a daily basis. Before we get off the phone, we tell each other we love each other. It's just a lot of people in this world don't realize it's not just a game. That they think it's just a game, but sports brings people together in a lot more different ways than what you expect. And this is a prime example. Of course, I would have never got to meet you, Ben, and I consider you a brother.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, it's just funny to me that people that don't like sports don't get it, how it brings people together. Like they don't get that all three of us were crying, the night that the Rangers won the World Series. Like they don't understand how sports can do that to you. But when you spend your life like invested mentally, emotionally, physically in a baseball team. I literally hurt my back during the World Series. Because I was so
I had to sub in as lead host.
Because I was so invested.
Because you were so
I was so invested, I hurt myself. But the deal is like the thing I think that makes us so successful, and I'm going to brag on us a little bit here, even though I'm part of us, is that literally we just sit here and shoot the crap. We don't. There are other podcasts out there that do a better job covering the team, do a better job, with guests, do a better job just with professionalism. But people love us because that's not what we do. Like they can hear that anywhere. They can listen to Dallas radio. They can listen to the, Jeff and John. They can listen to some other guys that just do a fantastic job. And it's not wrong, but we're a niche that not a lot of people fill in Rangers baseball. And that is three dudes. It's almost like we're just sitting at a bar talking about the Rangers and we happen to record it. And people, I know CJ, you get that. I get tweets all the time saying how much they enjoy just our like nonchalant, the way we do this show, and that it's not, all completely structured. We're okay. We've got to talk about this for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Then we'll talk about, we don't care. If something pops in our head, we just say it. And I think that's what people really like about this show.
Yeah, we ain't cookie cutter. That's for damn sure.
No, and we definitely aren't sponsored by the Rangers, so we can say whatever the heck we want about them.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of to me, it's fitting that we are now part of Fans First Sports Network because we are three huge fans. Yes, I pitched in high school and had a chance to go to college and screwed that up with my own dumbass decisions, Tyler. And then joined the Air Force, and then it's fun.
Yeah,
whenever you don't have to be so structured. And we like doing this and going, we know what this means.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. We just, half the time, when we started back up again, Ben, we actually did have notes.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah. You have to at first. Yeah.
And then after about 3 months, we didn't need them.
Well, like tonight I have an outline because there was a couple things I wanted to hit, but that's it. Like you get to the point, even with interviews, like we had structured questions. We don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
No,
because you want to go with the guest, and now
go with the feel.
Now that we've been doing this for so long, we all know that hey, if he takes us in this direction, then that's the direction we're going to go.
Yep.
Well, I remember the first podcast I came on, CJ sent me questions that were going to be asked to me to kind of give me an idea of what to be expected.
You made that required.
Yeah, I did, because I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was like, man, I've never done this. I don't even know how it goes. I listen to y'all, but I was like, it's different being on the show compared to actually just listening to two other people talking about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm comfortable, of course. And I just like, and it goes back to what y'all two said. I get feedback, from my brother, my cousin, past guests that we've had on. They're like, what I like about your show? Just like Ben said, just sounds like a bunch of three grown ass men sitting around having a beer, just shooting the shit, just talking about sports. You just bring up anything and everything. And that's what makes y'all's podcast, my brother said. And I said, you know what? That's what we aim to do.
Yeah.
And we try to make our guests feel comfortable. And I think that helps out a lot.
I'm telling you right now, first big guest I ever had that I ever interviewed was Derek Holland back in 2011 when I did this show the first time before I rebooted it back up. And I must have nervous laughed like 30 times during that.
Oh, yeah.
While we were talking to him, he'd say something maybe like, that stupid nervous laugh, because you don't know what to do, because you're speaking to someone that you've been watching for 4 or 5 years and that you really like. And, but of course he's so laid back, he didn't give a crap, and he was awesome. But we actually interviewed him twice that year. So he was awesome, but it was just funny. And I just went back and listened, and now I can't find it. Like, I lost all those old episodes, which makes me really mad.
That sucks, huh?
We had him. We had Darren Oliver. We had Kevin Mensch.
Well.
I had all these guys on back in the day. But yeah, I literally, and then of course I told CJ the story where Mickey Spagnola.
Called you a dumbass.
He critiqued my question. I asked
a stupid question.
I thought I would ask a softball question, and when I finished, he goes, "So that's a really stupid question." So thanks, Mickey Spagnola. Thanks for calling me out on air. And that show was live, so there was no editing that out, man. That was everybody to hear.
A memory you'll always remember, though.
Oh yeah, because and he didn't do it in a mean way. That's just Mickey. Like, you guys have listened to Mickey, how.
Of course,
he's just straightforward.
I was on ESPN Central Texas after Mickey Spagnola.
Yeah,
once a week.
Mickey is good. Mickey is good.
For 2 years, yes.
And we can't do a show this time of year without mentioning that there's a certain football game on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know who's playing. I don't follow that.
You know what I heard today?
FC Cowboys, right, Tyler?
Is that I don't know. I don't know their first name. I've heard something like that. Dallas Cowboys. I don't know.
I heard today something great.
Cafeteria or something like that.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
I heard something great today, and it was on national radio. It was a Cowboys fan that hates the Eagles, and they were giving the prediction for the game, and they wouldn't say the name of the other team. They said the Cowboys are going to beat the other team by this. And he goes, "Now that's gamemanship right there when you won't even say the name of the other team."
That's how much Cowboys fans hate the Eagles. Just put it that way.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Honestly, that's my least liked team by far in the NFL. It's not even close.
I told you guys
like team by far in the world.
They're up there. They're up there with the Yankees to me, but they're pretty dang close. I don't know. I'll probably say the Eagles and then Yankees. I don't know. I think they're pretty much tied. But our Astros, I could put the Astros up there too. I can't say
I've softened on the Yankees because the Astros have pretty much caught them at this point. But
true.
Used to be Yankees, everybody else, and now it's Yankees and Astros pretty close together as far as that goes.
Well, now it's going to be the Rangers and the Orioles.
But of course, since the Yankees aren't good right now, it makes it easier not to hate them.
Them damn Orioles.
Oh man, they're going to be good. They got
a damn Orioles
future.
I'm surprised with 1 out to go. John Smoltz is like, Arizona's going to come back here, and let me tell you why. I'm surprised John Smoltz didn't go through that as Spores was throwing that last pitch, and then when he got the last pitch, I'm surprised Smoltz didn't go, "Damn it."
Deep down inside, he was thinking it though.
Oh yeah, he was 100%.
What's crazy, Ben, about that is I love John Smoltz.
Oh, me too.
I loved him as a pitcher.
So did I.
Loved him.
And every other every other year he didn't seem to be that biased.
No, it was just weird. It was just weird.
Like, the thing about it is, it's not just Rangers fans that noticed. Like, there were national media people making fun of it.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't just Rangers fans that noticed it.
Yeah, my ex timeline was filled with making jokes about John Smoltz.
Lots of great memes. I sent you a few of them that I saw you send me. Yeah, they were great. That was the best one.
The one about the Hindenburg was.
That was the one I was going to say. That was my favorite one. The Hindenburg was crashing. He goes, I really feel like the Hindenburg has got a chance right here. It's doing a good job.
The Flames are doing very well, but I think the Hindenburg has a great chance.
Yeah,
that was probably the best one I saw. People are so clever, man. I wish I was that clever.
Yeah.
I wish I was that clever on social media.
We're clever enough again. And I want to thank both of you for making this just a special journey. And then we're still on it.
Yep.
And
we've got a long way to go. Like, we're not done.
Yeah. It's
like I said, thank y'all. I mean, to be the third member of this thing, like Ben was saying, to where it started and to where it's at now. I mean, it brought us all together. Like I said, I consider Ben a brother. Of course, you are my brother, CJ. But it's just it's really fun being part of a really cool podcast with two really good guys. That's another big thing about it. It's not like people just, they might see us and hear us on this podcast and think, oh, these guys, they're done with the podcast and they don't stay in contact. Man, guys, I'm telling y'all, people that are out there,
we text all day,
guys, we talk all the time, every single day, multiple times a day. Sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, that's enough. No more texting,
my wife has definitely said that.
Yeah.
Did you put that bone down?
No, trust me. My wife said it too. She's just like, that's enough. But That's like I said. That's what the people on the outside don't get to see. They get to watch this podcast or hear us, however they want to choose it. I would prefer to listen to it instead of seeing all this.
Yeah,
But
same here. Yeah.
We have radio.
There's a reason I cover my face up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have a weave there, a huge towel you can cover your face up with.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's a good thing during the show. If I get sweaty, I can just wipe it off. And
probably nobody recognizes me on this episode after all the last few I've done with my beard.
You shaved.
CJ said, "You look like a baby."
You look a whole lot better.
Well, I feel a lot better. Man. It just got to the point. I don't see Ben, like I told you, I've said this multiple times. I don't see how you do it, man. And you grow up quick.
Sunday, you wanted to call and make a beard challenge with Ben. I was like, bro, there's no way you can beat Ben in a beard challenge.
And
and then I started hearing the details about how fast he can grow a beard and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm done. I'm already done.
I guarantee you no one cares about this, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. There was a coach at one school I worked at who could sneeze and grow a beard, like literally. And so we both shaved at the same time to challenge each other. And like 4 weeks in, he took a look at me. He goes, damn. I can't believe I lost to you. And I was like, we still got a ways to go. He goes, there's no way I'm going to catch you at this point. Like his came in really fast, but then it stopped.
It kind of slowed down.
I mean, this is what 15 months old. That's it. So
yeah, ZZ Top.
Yeah. Well, I should tour right.
But you are going to shave it at the beginning of the year, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, so just to warn everybody out there who watches.
Oh, I didn't know. Was that supposed to be a secret? I mean,
no,
you can always edit it. You can always edit it.
That was.
No, it's not a secret. I usually do it every year. Okay. I usually do it earlier, but this year I'm doing it in January.
Last year,
sorry, the cat's out of the bag now, people.
Yeah. Last year it was in the summer because of that vacation Bible school thing where I bet that they wouldn't raise enough money and then they got to shave it on stage. But anyway, I just wanted to say
I shaved mine. I just got so sick of dealing with it.
CJ, you can't even tell there's anything on your face.
This is a month, y'all.
Yeah,
a month.
This is too.
So I'm such a baby face that it takes a minute.
Wait, there's a month for me.
Hey Ben, we need to get you some of those Jamaican beads or something in your beard.
To put in there.
Yeah.
Put in there. I think that would look pretty cool. Maybe get you some Texas Ranger beads.
Viking ponytail it up.
Yeah, Viking ponytail.
There you go.
So what is your wife? Does your wife like it or does she?
No, she hates it. Yeah.
She hates it. That's how my wife was. She was like, she'd just look at me. She's like, it's time to cut that thing. Yeah. She said when I shaved it the last time, it looked like there was a dead varmint on the ground. I was like, yeah, it's kind of what it felt like.
She told you that for a month, Tyler.
True, CJ, true.
Yeah, true. For those that don't know, before we wrap it up, I'll go through. A lot of people don't know my whole story. So I actually started podcasting in 2008 with my buddy Nate.
Podcast started.
Yeah, back when they weren't a big thing, with my buddy Nathan Haig, who you guys know because he's been on the show.
Yeah, I did a podcast with you and him.
Yep, he did a general sports show that we called the Haig Sports, and we knew nothing about podcasting. We knew we could have made so much money and we didn't know it. At one point we had Tom Verducci on.
Oh, wow.
Nathan just shot him an email and he was like, sure. And we were like, what, really? So he came on and I think we got 12,000 downloads in a week on that episode that we had Tom Verducci on, and we didn't know how to monetize. So we didn't do anything with it.
Yeah. You just like, that's a big number. You didn't really understand what it meant.
But we were averaging 3,000 an episode, just like, we're not even there yet. And we had no idea. We were like, oh, whatever. We don't know what's going on. And we were live. We'd take calls. It was really cool. But that's how I started. And then I got the bug and started my own podcast in 2011 and started my website in 2011, therangerreport.com. And then on and off, had back surgery in 2014 or 13, which is when I met CJ in 14 working for Nolan Wrighton because I was home bored and I had nothing to do. So I joined them so I could start writing more. And one thing led to another. I gave up on it and then came back and started this, and here we are. So it's been a weird journey. I've been doing it. I mean, I think about how long I've been doing it. It's just crazy. Starting in 2008, it's now 2023. So, you think I'd be better at it, but oh well.
I'm not.
And I think you're pretty good, Ben. I'm not going to, you are good. You're humble, but you're good.
You're very good. You are very good.
And this one more thing I want to mention on the last thing I want to say about all that, us three coming together. Look what also it brought us. It brought us a freaking World Series championship trophy to Texas boys. World Series champions.
I just got to say, before Tyler was on the podcast, the Rangers have never won a World Series.
Maybe, I don't know. I went down to, I can't say I'm the good luck charm in any of that, because I went to game 2 and saw them get their ass smoked.
Yeah, you went to game 2.
You went to the one game they lost.
They scored one run. The one game I went to, they scored one run. It was a solo home run by Garver.
You went to John Smoltz's favorite game, so.
No, I'm sure. I know I did, but I was like, gosh, man. And then, I'm making excuses. I was like, well, I went with Corey. I wasn't expecting to win.
Yeah.
But
Corey is not allowed to go to any more important Rangers games because they lose every time he goes. So
unless they're up 3-0 and they want them to win it in 5, then he can go.
Exactly. But it's like they won every single game in the World Series except for the game me and him went to.
Yep.
I was like, wonderful. That's just my luck.
All right, Tyler, as we wrap it up, where are you going to be on Sunday?
I will be sitting where I'm sitting right now, but actually a few spots over on a couch watching the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And you will be over here, and we're going to have a nice dinner. And speaking of that, everybody, let's go around and make predictions on that game real quick.
Oh, okay. We already talked about this, Tyler.
Yeah, but I'll go first then because I have confidence. I don't think the Eagles are in a spiral, but I think the Eagles have been exposed the last few weeks, and I think they didn't beat the Cowboys by a lot in the first game. It was a good game.
No, the Cowboys should have won the game.
The Cowboys should have won that game. So I'm going to say 31-17 Dallas wins.
Okay. CJ, go ahead.
Damn.
I don't think it's going to be close. Yeah.
Mine was 34-17.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Tyler. Yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
Mine's Dallas Cowboys 27, Philadelphia Eagles 26.
Oh, you're going for the nail biter.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be closer than what it's a division game, as we all know. But that don't mean any. I mean, I think it does mean a lot more. But who knows? I'm going to say 27-26. The only reason I'm saying that is I watched a simulation game on YouTube, and that was a final score with the Cowboys winning, and they went for a 2-point conversion to win at the very end, and I was like, a walk-off 2-point conversion. I was like, how that's sweet. So I was like, I'll stick with it. 27-26.
Awesome.
And we have been warned already, Ben. We have been warned.
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep it down.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's gonna be hard.
Yes, it is, especially when they score.
Yeah, we'll figure it. We'll figure out a way, Tyler. And I'm sure Jamie's gonna say 3-4 times, "Gosh, shut."
Yeah, she will.
No, Jamie keeps us in check, man. I promise you, she's a good woman. But if we get out of control, there's times where she has to literally turn around and say, CJ, Tyler, y'all need to shut up. And she means it. She's not joking around. She's like, y'all, you got neighbors and stuff around. Have a little bit of respect. And I'm like, it's kind of hard when you're watching the Cowboys or like a Ranger game. It's kind of hard.
Yep.
But I understand.
All right.
Last thing I'm going to say before we drop the deuces. Here we go.
Why did he set?
Deuces. All right, see you guys on the next one.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.